What's going on, Steamers fans? Welcome to War Memorial Stadium, where the Edenton Steamers are currently underway against the Peninsula Pilots in the Steamers' second exhibition of this season. I apologize for not having a pregame. I was having a bit of connection issues here at War Memorial, but we're all figured out now. Brody Rubenstein was the leadoff man in the inning for the Edenton Steamers. He just popped out for the first out here in the top of the first inning. On the mound for the Peninsula Pilots is Ryan Devine, the junior out of St. Joseph's University. When we come back in the bottom of the first, I'll bring you through the pregame I had originally planned for tonight's contest. Jared Kaufman digging in now as the second batter here in the top of the first for the Steamers. Ryan Devine on the mound. We'll take you around the defense in just a moment for the Peninsula Pilots as the count moves to 2-0 against Jared Kaufman in his first plate appearance today. Kaufman was 0 for 1 yesterday, after coming in as a defensive substitution in the 10th inning for Shane Easter at second base, as Easter took over at third as Kaufman takes the 2-0 for strike one. Devine with the 2-1. That one swung on and popped up but foul over the home dugout down the first base line. Kaufman now even in the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swinging and grounds the 2-2 down the third baseline, but it rolls foul. So the count sits right where it is at 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out in the inning for the Steamers here in the top of the first. The 2-2. Taken inside for ball 3, so the count runs full to Jared Kaufman. Kaufman with a .286 batting average coming into today's contest. The 3-2 swung on and missed. So 2 up, 2 down for the Steamers to start tonight's contest here in Peninsula, and that'll bring in Houston Wright. Wright's 2-game hitting streak came to an end yesterday in an 0 for 4 effort in the 7-6 victory that the Steamers took at home against Tidewater in the first edition of extra innings baseball in the 2020 Steamers season. First pitch to Wright in the AB is grounded right back to Devine at the mound. He'll jog just a couple steps over to first, flip things over to Ben McCabe, the first baseman, for the third and final out of the inning. No hits, no runs, no runners left on, no errors on part of the Tidewater. The Peninsula. Still stuck in last night, the Peninsula defense. Nick Biddison, Trey Morgan, and Eric Stock, the top of the order for the Edenton Steamers, for the Peninsula Pilots. Jake Rice, the starter on the mound for the Steamers today. In 3 games, he started just 1 and accumulated 7 innings of work thus far. His last outing came against Greenbrier back on the 8th. Rice, with a 1-1 record, picked up his first win in that contest against Greenbrier in his first start of the season for the Steamers. Threw for 5 innings, allowed just 3 earned runs to cross on 3 hits with 2 walks and 15 strikeouts. I'll take you through the pregame now. The Clams take a brief break away from TSL play after extending their league-leading 7-game winning streak last night in walk-off fashion and steamroll into the home of a familiar foe tonight here at War Memorial Stadium for their second exhibition contest of the season tonight at 7 p.m. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, Steamers fans, Pilots fans, and baseball fans alike. My name is Patrick Foster. Welcome inside War Memorial Stadium in Hampton, Virginia for another edition of Edenton Steamers Baseball on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Tonight, the Fighting Clams play just their second road game in this 2020 season and an exhibition edition of Steamers Baseball as they take on the Peninsula Pilots of the Coastal Plain League, of which the Steamers were members for the past 22 seasons. In that time, the Steamers won 3 Pettit Cups as champions of the CPL, with their most recent championship coming back in 2015. In 2019, the Pilots and Steamers did battle 16 times, with both teams coming away with 8 victories, with the Pilots taking the previous 5 straight contests. This will be the first of 2 meetings the Steamers will have with the Pilots in July and overall in 2020. The two will play again on July 29th. As mentioned, the Steamers come in with the longest winning streak in the Tidewater Summer League at 7 games. The Clams won their first extra inning contest of the season last night in a 7-6 finish over the Tidewater Drillers in 10 innings. Brody Rubenstein hit the walk-off single for his second hit of the contest. The Steamers come in with a 5-game lead on the top spot over the Old Dominion hitters in the TSL at 12-4 and 0-1 in exhibition games with the 5-4 loss the Steamers suffered at the hands of the Tarboro River Bandits back on June 19th in the first game of the Steamers season in 2020. About set for the bottom of the first inning here. Leading off Nick Biddison, the center fielder, an income rising junior at Virginia Tech. Biddison 0 for 2 against Old Dominion in the 8-0 win over the TSL squad yesterday. As for Peninsula, they take their home field here at War Memorial for the 8th time this season and the 11th game in 2020 for the Pilots, who come in with a 5-5 record and a 4-3 record on their home turf after having their 4-game win streak snapped in their last CPL competition to the Wilson Tobbs, as Rice evens up the count against Biddison 1 ball and 1 strike here in the bottom of the first inning. 0-0 our score after a scoreless top of the first from the Steamers offense. The 1-1 taken inside. Count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. The Pilots started slowly here in 2020 with 3 consecutive losses, but bounced back with 4 straight wins, with 2 coming against TSL opponents and 2 in a row against Wilson, as Biddison takes the 2-1 inside for ball 3 against Rice. Peninsula is 3-0 against TSL opponents after topping Old Dominion in an 8-0 finish last night. Peninsula also defeated Tidewater back on July 8th and Greenbrier back on the 7th. Inning opening walk as Biddison takes first base on 5 pitches. And that brings in Trey Morgan, a sophomore out of Virginia Military Institute. Morgan with an average of 208 through 10 games played and 7 starts. A slow roller on the first pitch to Aaron Copeland starting at third tonight. He makes the throw down the first base line. It forces Easter off the bag. Some contact with the runner. So the runner will stand up at first safely in Trey Morgan, which puts runners on the corners for Peninsula here in the bottom of the first with no outs. And that'll likely be ruled as a hit. The first of either side today. Eric Stock digging in. Eric Stock, the junior at the University of Connecticut, originally out of Virginia Beach, was a designated hitter against Old Dominion and came in as a substitution for the designated hitter Trey Morgan. Stock 0 for 1 in the contest. Takes the first pitch from Rice in the AB for ball 1. Fouled hard down the right field line, but it drifts foul and out of play. So the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. This spring at UConn, Stock pitched 2 innings, striking out 2 for an ERA of 18. But he batted an average of .484, which is 3rd in the U.S. and top of the AAC. He grounds a ball to the third baseman, Aaron Copeland, who goes home with the play, to Case Kermode, who applies the tag to Nick Biddison in time for the first out. Smart heads-up play from Eric Copeland. Risky and aggressive, but it pays off, as the double play ball is in order for the Steamers infield, now with runners on first and second following the fielder's choice. Hunter Hart digging in. First pitch from Rice to Hart. Take it inside. The defense for the Steamers today, Jake Rice on the mound out of Presbyterian College. Case Kermode, the catcher out of the University of Mount Olive. Shane Easter out of Eastern Michigan over at first base. Jared Kaufman, his Eastern Michigan teammate over at second. Casey Hare out of Milligan University at short. Aaron Copeland out of Spartanburg Methodist at third base. Ground ball hit to Kaufman at second. Has to make a diving stop, bobbles it. Can't make a throw to any bag. As Hart reaches first base safely. And the bases are now loaded with just one away. Still scoreless here in the bottom of the first inning. Jake Boone, the shortstop out of Princeton University, digging in. Boone bringing in an average of .257 in 9 starts. He's one of just 5 players on this Pilots roster to collect a home run thus far through the season. As a team, through 10 games, Peninsula with just 5 team home runs. One from Matt Birch, Jake Boone with one, Tommy Bell with one as well, Kevin Madden Jr. with one, and Luke Zimmerman with one as well. A 1 the count following the first pitch foul off. A 1 on its way. Popped up down the first base line. Shane Easter racing over to it, but he can't make the grab in the sunlight. Would have been an impressive play had he made the catch, but instead drops in foul territory. But the count moves to 0-2 against Jake Boone out of San Diego, California. Bases loaded for Peninsula here in the bottom of the first frame. Just 1 away. 1 out coming on a fielder's choice at home plate. The 0-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. Big second out recorded for the Steamers here in the bottom of the first. As there are now 2 outs with the bases loaded and a play at any bag. Luke Zimmerman digging in now. Zimmerman, as I mentioned, one of 5 players with a home run for the Peninsula Pilots through 10 games. Zimmerman looking to boost up that average coming into this plate appearance. 143 thus far through 2020. First pitch to Zimmerman in the AB is fastball high and away. Fouled off behind the Steamers dugout down the third baseline. It's going to be much tougher for me to call what types of pitches are being thrown tonight just because of the angle here at War Memorial Stadium looking down. Line drive back to Hare at short. It gets over the outstretched glove as a diving attempt was made. 2 runs come in, but the throw into third base is in time as Copeland applies the tag to the runner sliding into third in time. 2 runs do come in to score for the Pilots on the play as they take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first on 2 hits. No errors on part of the Steamers, 1 runner left on. When we come back, the Edenton Steamers will pick up with Alan Alonso as the heart of the order due up. Alonso, Seitler, then Easter. Due up for the Steamers here in the top of the second inning. My name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. So we bring things back here at War Memorial. I'll take you around the defense once again for the Peninsula Pilots. I don't think I fully got through it back in the top of the first. Ryan Devine, the junior out of St. Joseph's University, on the mound to start. Cy Snedeker, the junior at Princeton, behind the plate. Ben McCabe out of the University of Central Florida starting at first base. Eric Stock, the junior out of University of Connecticut, at second. Jake Boone out of Princeton University in my home state of New Jersey. Starting at shortstop, Hunter Hart out of the College of William & Mary in the Colonial Athletic Association starting at third. Trey Morgan in left field, the sophomore at VMI, as Alan Alonso, the first batter for the Edenton Steamers, checks in and takes the first pitch for a called strike 1. Nick Biddison, the sophomore out of Virginia Tech, in center field, and Cole Seacrest, the junior out of Lamar University, in right field. Alonso takes the second pitch, a breaking pitch, in at the hands for ball one, so the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryan Devine is in his 3rd year with the Peninsula Pilots, finished with a 3-1 record back in 2019 as Alonso drops to his knee, fouling off the 1-1 pitch down the third base line. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. In 2018, Devine had a 3.38 ERA in 24 innings pitched for the Pilots. 1-2 taken, but a bit high, as the count evens up at 2-2 to Alan Alonso, the leadoff man in the inning. At St. Joseph's this spring, Devine collected 22 2/3 innings pitched, struck out 17 batters in the process, and finished with an ERA of 5.16 as Alonso takes the 2-2 in the dirt, just in front of the left-handed hitter's box for ball 3. A turf field here at War Memorial Stadium, so no dirt really. The full count pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. Alonso tried checking his swing, but definitely broke the plane on the 3-2 swing, and goes down as the first out of the inning for the Steamers here in the top of the 2nd. Now digging in Josiah Seitler, who seemed to get back into the swing of things at the plate yesterday. Went 1 for 4 against Tidewater. He did strike out twice in the contest. First pitch to Seitler, called strike 1 on the high outside corner. The 0-1 now. Swung on, popped in the air down the left field line. Chasing over into foul territory is the left fielder, Trey Morgan. But he can just give it a look as that one falls to the concrete on the walkway down by the, I believe, concession stands or ticket booth there down in left field. Didn't have time to get too familiar with the ballpark here at Peninsula as we got here a tad late. And I just had to come right up to the press box and set up here. 0-2 the count to Josiah Seitler in his first AB tonight. Swung on and missed strike 3 in his first plate appearance tonight. So back-to-back punch-outs for Ryan Devine here in the top of the 2nd. Steamers still looking for their first hit in the contest. Digging in now is Shane Easter, who had quite the day yesterday in the walk-off victory. 3 for 4 with a pair of singles and a home run. A solo shot in the bottom of the 9th inning on a full count with 2 outs that tied up the contest and forced it into extra innings. Takes the first pitch for called strike 1. Ropes the second pitch into left field, but just a bit too hard as it's lined right into the mid of Trey Morgan out in left field without much movement. No hits for the Steamers, no runs, no runners left on, no errors on part of the Pilots defense. When we come back, we'll pick things up with Cole Seacrest. 7, 8, 9 due up for the Pilots offense, who currently hold a 2-0 lead heading into the bottom of the 2nd inning. 2-0 our score. Your Steamers trail. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Cole Seacrest to lead off here in the bottom of the second.
Number 11, Cole Seacrest.
Seacrest, the right fielder today, going into his senior year at Lamar University. Comes in with an average at the plate of under 200 in 31 at-bats. 161 is the BA, in fact, for Seacrest. Swinging at the first pitch against Jake Rice here in the inning, and he lines a single right into center field that takes one hop in front of Brody Rubenstein. Seacrest with just his 6th hit of the 2020 summer, and that brings up the catcher, Cy Snedeker, going into his senior year at the Ivy League Princeton. Snedeker with an average as well under 200. Double play ball in order for the Steamers following the no-out single. Houston Wright with some action out in left field as Snedeker pops the first pitch of his first at-bat into routine left. Right there to make the catch for the first out of the inning. That brings in Ben McCabe, the first baseman. McCabe out of Sarasota, Florida, heading into his junior year at the University of Central Florida. One on and one out in the inning for McCabe, the 9-hole hitter. Top of the order on deck, Nick Biddison in the on-deck circle as McCabe takes the first pitch high for ball one above the zone. McCabe with an average of 211. Just 4 hits in 19 ABs as he takes the second pitch for ball 2. First strike recorded against McCabe here in the AB as he swings over the top of a fastball. The 2-1 now from Rice, taken inside, maybe a bit high as well. Count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. The 3-1 fouled off, so that fills up the count with a runner standing on first and 1 away here in the bottom of the second. If you're just tuning in, 2-0 the score. Pilots lead after a 2-run bottom of the first inning. The 3-2, grounded back up the middle. Hare fields it, steps on second base for 1. The throw over to first in time to retire the side. 2 hits in the inning, 1 runner left on for the Pilots. No runs come across. 2-0 still the score here at War Memorial Stadium. No errors on part of the Steamers defense. When we come back, Casey Hare to lead off. Bottom of the order due up. Hare, Kermode, and Copeland. The 3 set up for the Edenton Steamers in the top of the third. My name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Casey Hare digging in for the first time tonight. Hare 1 for 3 yesterday against Tidewater with a double. It was the first hit the Steamers recorded in the contest. Ryan Devine still on the mound, beginning his third inning of work with a 2-run cushion as the Pilots hold a 2-0 lead here in the top of the third. Both teams held scoreless in that second frame. Hare, a .316 batting average at the plate. Currently ranks top 5 for the Steamers. As the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. Hare swings over the top of an off-speed pitch, which sets him behind in the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Steamers looking to extend their 7-game winning streak. This game will not go towards their current 12-4 league record, as it's an exhibition contest against the Coastal Plain League Peninsula Pilots. Count evens up at 2-2. Kermode waits on deck. Aaron Copeland in the 9-hole tonight in the lineup for the Steamers. The 2-2 to Hare. Swung on and missed. Hare goes down swinging. For the first out recorded here in the top of the third inning, Case Kermode digs in now. Kermode 0 for 3 yesterday in 5 plate appearances. He did draw a walk. Came around to score just once. An average under 200 thus far since joining the Steamers here in July. Takes the first pitch for ball 1 against Devine. The 1-0 now. Taken right down the heart of the zone. Count evens up at 1-1. The 1-1 with 1 away. Nasty curveball there from Devine. Had Kermode swinging over the top of it and about a foot out in front. Sets the catcher from University of Mount Olive behind 1-2. Pitch on the way. Just outside. Count evens up at 2-2. Devine standing about 6'4", 200 pounds on the bump. Kermode looking rather foolish on the 2-2 pitch. A slider taken way out of the zone that Kermode reaches at and misses entirely as he's set down swinging. Picks up his 10th K of the summer. Aaron Copeland digging in now. Copeland nearly went yard in yesterday's contest in the bottom of the second. Brought 2 runs in on an RBI single to deep right field. 2 RBI single for that matter. It was Copeland's lone hit of the contest. He also struck out once. Batting average of 133 following the 7-6 victory yesterday. Back-to-back strikes thrown to Copeland in his first at-bat. 2 up, 2 down. Copeland now in the hole 0-2, looking to avoid being recorded as the last out of the inning, but he can't as he goes down swinging for the third and final out of the top of the third. No hits for the Steamers, still hitless in tonight's contest. No runners left on, no runs come across. No errors on part of the Peninsula defense. 2-0 still our score. When we come back, Nick Biddison to lead off as we're back at the top of the order for the Peninsula Pilots. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. 2-0 still the score here at War Memorial Stadium in Hampton, Virginia.
Leading off the bottom of the third for the Pilots.
Pilots lead, looking to add to that 2-run cushion here. Nick Biddison leading off. Biddison today is 0 for 1. Takes the first pitch in this at-bat from Jake Rice. A breaking pitch, high and away for ball 1. Second pitch in the dirt. Or in the turf, I should say. Count moves to 2-0. Making Biddison look a bit silly with an off-balance swing. Count moves to 2-1, still in Biddison's favor. The umpires tonight behind the plate, John Swanson, and the infield, Michael Brewer and Tarico Henderson. The 1-2 on the way to Biddison. Pitch from Rice is taken high and away to even up the count at 2-2. Swinging at the 2-2 is Biddison. Skies it out to left center. Houston Wright making the run over to put it away for the first out of the inning.
Next up to bat for the Pilots, number 1, Trey Morgan.
Trey Morgan digging in. Morgan 1 for 1 with a single back in the 2-run bottom of the first inning. First pitch to him in this AB, taken low and outside for ball 1. The 1-0 on the way from Rice. Low and away once again, as it's now 2-0 in favor of Trey Morgan. Taken middle away for the first strike. Morgan back for his second season with the Pilots. Also worked as a pitcher last year and is listed as a pitcher as well this year, starting in left field tonight. Finished with a 4-2 record on the mound for Peninsula in 2019. Heading into his sophomore year at Virginia Military Institute. Foul tips the 3-1. And a little bit of pain as he walks out of that left-handed hitter's box, rubbing that small of the back. 1 out already in the inning. Full count to Morgan at the plate. 3-2 on the way. Swung on and missed strike 3. So Rice picks up another K. As there are now 2 outs here in the top of the third. Or bottom of the third, my apologies. Eric Stock digging in once again. Stock 1 for 1. Or in fact, 0 for 1 as he reached on an error. Came around to score in that 2-run bottom of the first. First pitch to him in this at-bat, taken for a called strike 1, middle away. A 1 pitch, maybe just a bit low out of the zone. For John Swanson's liking, even count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. Swung on, lined over the head of Jared Kaufman at second. Takes 1 hop in front of Alan Alonso. Rattles off his glove, but he keeps it in front of him as Stock pulls up to first base, now 1 for 2 today. Hunter Hart digging in now. Hart still waiting Smacks the first pitch down the first base line. Hart 1 for 1 today. Picked up his first hit of 2020 against the Steamers. Was 0 for 2 in 2010-20 coming into that AB. The 0-1 taken high above the zone. Count even out, 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 outs in the inning. Eric Stock standing on first base following the 2-out single to right. One taken for a ball. Two on the count now to Hunter Hart. Popped up, but foul over the Pilots dugout. Hart was just added to the roster for the Pilots yesterday and is in his first season with Peninsula. In 2020 at the College of William & Mary, played in 12 games, making 10 starts at first base as well as a designated hitter. Finished the season with a CAA best .417 batting average, ranked first on William & Mary. The runner on the move down to second. The throw from Kermode behind the plate comes in just a hair late as Stock slides in safely. With a full count now against Hunter Hart, the man at the plate with 2 gone. 1 hit in the inning coming from Eric Stock with 2 outs. In 2019, Hart with a .259 average in 38 appearances. Grounds the 3-2 to Kaufman at second. Has to make a decent run into right field. Has to make a spinning throw over to first base, but he does so in time to retire the side. Just 1 hit for the Peninsula Pilots here in the inning. 1 runner left on. No runs come across. No errors on part of the Steamers defense. When we come back, the Steamers will pick it up back at the top of the order. Brody Rubenstein to lead off with Jared Kaufman and Houston Wright also due up in the inning. 2-0 still the score here at War Memorial as we head to the top of the 4th. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. New pitcher on the mound for Peninsula to start the top of the 4th. Luke Zimmerman, who started in tonight's lineup as the designated hitter in the 6 hole. Now on the mound, Zimmerman, the incoming or rising junior at St. Joseph's University. Faces Brody Rubenstein in the first plate appearance, or the second plate appearance for Rubenstein tonight. He goes down on the swing. Looks like he might have turned over on that front ankle. He's up putting weight on it, trotting down the first base line. Rubenstein is putting weight on it, walking back and forth. Head coach Marshall McDonald coming down from third to talk things over with former player at Montreat, Rubenstein takes the bat from McDonald. Looks like he'll finish out the AB now, behind in the count 0-1. It's a solid ovation from the fans here at War Memorial. In 2020 at St. Joseph, Zimmerman threw for 15 total innings, struck out 19 opposing batters, and posted an ERA of 3.60 in 5 total appearances. Returns to Peninsula for his second straight season. Earned himself a 3-1 record on the mound in 2019. Funny story coming from Matt Fine, the father of Adam Fine here on the Steamers, who also plays for St. Joseph's University, as Rubenstein falls behind in the count on the swinging strike 1 and 2. Zimmerman, as a senior, was one of Central League's best hitters in high school, but also one of their best pitchers. Batted a 400 average, or over 400 average, in high school. And hit a walk-off in the state championship game, playing for Marple Newtown. The 1-2 once again, taken inside for ball 2. So the count evens up at 2-2 to Rubenstein, the leadoff man in the inning. Reaches out of the zone on the 2-2 and comes up empty. So he goes down on strikes. Rubenstein down swinging for the second time today. Jared Kaufman digging in for the second time today. Oh for 1. Falls behind 0-1 in the count. Now behind 0-2 after reaching out of the zone on a breaking pitch. Oh, 2 on the way with 1 out. Fouled right up back to me. But it hits just below the press box. Probably could have heard that. Count sits at no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2. Taken outside for ball 1. So now the count stands at 1 ball and 2 strikes. One 2 to Kaufman, taken above the zone. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zimmerman was named the Southeast Pennsylvania and Delaware Co-Player of the Year as a senior. In high school, also earned first team All-State honors as Kaufman records the first hit on a 2-2 pitch for the Steamers. A ground ball through the hole between short and third into left field. So that puts 1 on with 1 out for Edenton here in the top of the 4th. Houston Wright digging in. Steamers still trail 2-0 with 1 away. Neither team has scored since that bottom of the 1st frame, in which Peninsula brought 2 runs across on 2 hits. Zimmerman with the first pitch to Wright in the AB. Fastball in there for strike 1. Despite the 0 for 4 yesterday, Wright still comes in leading the Tidewater Summer League in home runs with 10 and RBIs with 26. Takes the second pitch outside for ball 1. Count even at 1-1. Wright is also leading Edenton in batting average at .391 and runs scored at 24 and ranks 2nd in the TSL. And on base plus slugging, along with slugging percentage, which stands at .870. Count moves to 2-1. Grounded to the first baseman McCabe. Has to come into the infield grass for 1 over at second base. But not enough time to get right over at first base. as he now falls to 0 for 2 today with the fielder's choice in this AB. Alan Alonso digging in now. 0 for 1 today, with a strikeout swinging. The Pilots and Edenton have quite the history together. The Steamers, who were founded back in 1998, played their first 22 seasons as an organization in the Coastal Plains League, as Alonso watches the first pitch for strike one. As mentioned, the Steamers went on to win 3 Pettit Cups in their time in the CPL, one in 2004, one in 2005, and then their most recent coming in 2015. Alonso watches the 0-1, a breaking pitch, drop back into the zone for strike 2. These two have played each other plenty of times, including 16 contests in 2019, in which they split the series right down the middle, 8 wins for each side. The Pilots actually won the last 5 consecutive contests against Edenton in 2019 by a combined score of 46-25. The two were, in fact, rivals before the Steamers left the CPL after last summer due to the franchise being sold to Richmond and the Tri-City Chili Peppers. Alonso swinging over the top of a breaking pitch on the 1-2 to leave Wright stranded at first base. 1 hit for the Steamers in the inning, 1 runner left on. No errors on part of the Peninsula Pilots defense. No runs come across. 2-0 still the score as we head into the bottom of the 4th frame. When we come back, we pick things up with Jake Boone, the shortstop in the 5-hole. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Peninsula Pilots in the bottom of the 4th inning. My name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Two nothing still the score as the Peninsula Pilots come into the bottom of the 4th inning, looking to add to that 2-run cushion. Jake Boone out of San Diego, California, digging in. Boone in his 2nd season with the Pilots, known for his versatile defensive ability and strong arm, as he'll play either shortstop, third, or even second base on occasion. Started all 7 of Princeton's games in 2020 as he's heading into his senior year. Hit just an average of 107 in 3 hits in 28 ABs as he fouls off the first pitch against Jake Rice back on the mound for his 4th inning of work. The 0-1. Lifted foul over the netting behind home plate, just to the right of the press box here. The 0-2 now. Taken just a bit high. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the Princeton University product. Boone, the son of Major Leaguer Brett Boone and uncle Aaron Boone, the manager of the New York Yankees. His grandfather Bob, an assistant GM for the Washington Nationals. As he pops up the 1-2 over the shallow part of right center field, Jared Kaufman, the second baseman, backtracking in to the outfield grass to make the catch for the first out of the inning. Boone's family, in fact, has 2 combined World Series titles. 11 Gold Glove awards, and 10 All-Star appearances. So baseball running in the blood of the Boone family. That brings in Luke Zimmerman, the relief pitcher and originally designated hitter in the lineup tonight. Takes the first pitch from Rice and his second AB for ball one. Zimmerman swings so hard his helmet comes off. On the 1-0, evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Zimmerman 1 for 1 today. Thought about swinging at the 1-1 on the outside. It held up, but probably should have. As that pitch clocked in at 91 miles per hour on the gun for Jake Rice. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. With 1 away and no runners on here in the bottom of the 4th for the Pilots. The 1-2. Taken for a called strike 3. John Swanson favoring that middle outside part of the plate as the second out's recorded via a Luke Zimmerman strikeout. Cole Seacrest now digging in. Seacrest, the hero for the Peninsula Pilots in the 8-0 win over Old Dominion last night. The Woodlands, Texas native hit 3 for 5 at the plate as he fouls off the first pitch. It does bounce it back into fair territory, but hit home plate prior to. He went 3 for 5 once again with 3 runs scored and 1 RBI. Helped lift the Pilots to their 5th win of the season and 3rd against Tidewater Summer League teams. Steamers come into today looking to be the first TSL team to knock off the Peninsula Pilots and continue their winning streak and bring it to an even 8 games. 0-1 taken outside for ball 1. Things starting to finally cool off here in Hampton, Virginia. As Seacrest pops that one way up in the air over right field. Alan Alonso making his way under it. And recording the 3rd and final out. No hits for Peninsula here in the bottom of the 4th. No runners left on as they go down 1-2-3. No runs come across to score. No errors on part of the Steamers. When we come back, the Steamers pick things back up with Josiah Seitler, the designated hitter, with Shane Easter waiting on deck and Casey Hare, the 3rd man due up in the inning. 2-0 still the score as we get set for the 5th inning here at War Memorial. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Luke Zimmerman back on the mound for his 2nd inning of mound duties. Pilots lead 2-0 as we get set for the 5th inning. Josiah Seitler to lead off for the Steamers here in the top of the frame. Seitler 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout in his first plate appearance, but takes the first pitch to deep right field. That one's carrying over the home bullpen and out of here. Josiah Seitler picks up his 4th home run of the season to make it just a 1-run contest here in the top of the 5th inning on just 1 pitch. He picks up his 4th home run and cuts the deficit to just 2-1. Seitler now 1 for 2 today with a solo home run. Shane Easter digging in now, looking to follow up the solo shot. Seitler now with 13 RBIs to his credit and has crossed home plate as a runner 11 times as Easter takes the first pitch for ball 1. Easter calls time at the plate. Zimmerman has now given up 2 home runs in his time on the mound. Easter lines a dart right back to third base. Hunter Hart not having to move anywhere to make the play for the first out in the inning. Easter now 0 for 2 today, following his 3 for 4 day yesterday. Casey Hare digging in now. Hare, as mentioned, with a .316 batting average, takes the first pitch, a slider out of the zone for ball 1. Hare working on a solid 4-game hitting streak. Takes the 1-0 in the zone for strike 1. The 1-1. Taken outside for ball 2. The hitting streak for Hare dates all the way back to the 8th against Greenbrier, in which he went 3 for 4. Belting his first home run in that contest. Went 2 for 4 in the next contest against Tidewater, and then 1 hit in the contest against Greenbrier back on the 11th, and 1 against Tidewater yesterday. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Hare, with 1 out in the inning and 1 run already come across in the second hit of the night for the Steamers. A solo home run from Josiah Seitler over the right field bullpen. Hare watches the third strike come all the way in and is set down for the second time tonight. 2 outs for the Steamers now in the top of the 5th. 2-1 our score. Case Kermode digging in now for the second time. First pitch swinging is Kermode, and he foul tips it straight back behind the plate. Count moves to 0-1. The 0-1. Taken all the way for strike 2. Kermode wanted to go around but held up. Doesn't matter as it's called strike 2. The 0-2 on its way now. Makes Kermode slide his feet back out of the box as the count moves to now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Zimmerman looking for the third out of the inning, the 1-2. Low below the zone, evens up the count against Kermode at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aaron Copeland waiting on deck. Copeland with a strikeout in his first at-bat. Kermode with a strikeout as well in his first plate appearance. As the count runs full on the 5th pitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. With 2 outs and no runners on, Zimmerman with the 3-2. Foul tipped, so Kermode stays alive. Looking to extend the inning is Kermode. Steamers have already brought 1 across on a Josiah Seitler solo home run to lead off the inning. 3-2, high above the zone for ball 4. So the first walk of the day for the Edenton Steamers comes on behalf of Case Kermode with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Aaron Copeland digging in now. Copeland 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. Copeland an average of 133 coming into today's contest. Collected his 10th strikeout on the season with the K. First pitch swinging is Copeland. Way ahead of a changeup, high and away. Swinging under it as well. Count moves to 0-1. The second pitch from Zimmerman. Swung on and grounded hard down the third base line. Hunter Hart with the diving attempt. Sneaks past him down the left field line. The throw in gets away from the third baseman Hart, but luckily Zimmerman there to back him up. Copeland moves up to second on the play. They'll likely rule it as a single. The third hit for the Steamers today. And that brings up Brody Rubenstein. Rubenstein 0 for 2 today with 1 strikeout. So we're back at the top of the order for the Steamers lineup. 2 on with 2 out. A single ties up the game. 2-1 the score. An out sends us to the bottom of the 5th. First pitch taken from Rubenstein for a called strike 1. Rubenstein coming up with the walk-off single last night in the bottom of the 10th, scoring Allen Brown with 2 runners on. The 0-1 now to Rubenstein. Swung on, and that one's driven to deep right field. The right fielder, Cole Seacrest, backtracking to the warning track and makes a bit of a jump at the gravel to make the third and final out of the inning. Steamers do bring 1 across on the solo home run from Josiah Seitler to make it a 2-1 contest. Steamers see 2 hits in the inning to bring their total to 3. No errors so far for the Peninsula defense. 2-1 the score as we head to the bottom of the 5th. When we come back, Cy Snedeker, the catcher, who's 0 for 1 today, leads off with Ben McCabe due up on deck and Nick Biddison, the center fielder, on double deck, as some say. My name's Patrick Foster. 2-1 once again the score here at War Memorial Stadium as we get set for the bottom of the 5th inning. You're listening to Edenton Steamers baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Jake Rice back on the mound for his 5th inning of work. Through 4 innings, he's struck out 3 batters, allowed 5 hits, and allowed 2 earned runs to score. All of them coming back, both of them I should say, coming back in the bottom of the 1st inning. The Steamers brought it to just a 1-run game in the top of the 5th inning. It's now 2-1, thanks to a Josiah Seitler solo home run over the right field wall. Cy Snedeker digging in, shows bunt on the first pitch, but retreats the attempt. Won't matter though, as it's called strike 1. The 0-1 now. Taken all the way for a called strike 2. Snedeker in his 2nd season with Peninsula. In 2020 with Princeton, an average of .273. Watches the 3rd strike come all the way in as Rice picks up his 4th strikeout tonight. And make it his 2nd strikeout looking. Ben McCabe digging in now. McCabe 0 for 1. Nick Biddison waiting on deck as we'll go back to the top of the order following Ben McCabe. 1 out in the inning. McCabe check swing. They'll appeal down to the first base umpire. Michael Brewer signaling he went around. So 0-1 the count to McCabe. Second pitch swung on over the top as he comes up empty. Quickly down to the count 0-2. Rice has really been dominant outside of that bottom of the first. The 0-2. Fouled off. Just 3 hits against Rice since that bottom of the first. No runs. 0-2 still the count to McCabe, the first baseman out of the University of Central Florida. The 0-2. Breaking pitch. Looked like a slider that broke right back into the zone for a called strike 3. As Case Kermode tosses the around the horn into left field. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1 still our score. Nick Biddison looking to keep the inning alive. Biddison in 2019 an all CPL first team selection. And Virginia Tech in the spring hit an average of .344. With 21 hits, 5 of them doubles, 1 triple and 2 homers with 6 RBIs as well. Started all 52 games for the Hokies in 2019. 25 of them as a catcher. Takes the 0-1 deep to center field. The deep center field not doing him any favors, though, as Brody Rubenstein with plenty of time to track that one down at the warning track and put it away for the 3rd and final out of the inning. 2-1 still the score after no hits. Leave no runners on base, bring no runs across for Peninsula in the inning. No errors on part of the Edenton Steamers defense. When we come back, the Steamers look to bring things back to a tie score, as it's just a 1-run deficit, as we take a moment to honor our nation's veterans in attendance tonight. When we come back, though, Jared Kaufman leads off in the 2-hole, with Houston Wright waiting on deck and Alan Alonso due up 3rd in the inning. Again, 2-1 the score here at War Memorial Stadium as we get set for the top of the 6th. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Jared Kaufman digging in. Jared Kaufman collected the first hit for the Steamers tonight. 1 for 1 today. Make it 1 for 2 as he struck out in his first plate appearance. Swings over the top of the first pitch. Matt Keane, the new pitcher on the mound. The redshirt senior at Virginia Military Institute out of Williamsburg, Virginia. Second pitch to Kaufman, watched all the way in for strike 2. Keane has made 4 appearances thus far for the Pilots. Collected 2 2/3 of an inning. Given up 5 hits, 6 earned runs crossed on his watch, with 4 total strikeouts. Kaufman on the 0-2. Skies on to center field. Nick Biddison making just a few steps back to put it away for the first out of the inning. That brings in Houston Wright. Grounded into a fielder's choice in his last plate appearance. Takes the first pitch in the turf in front of home plate for ball 1. The 1-0 now to Wright. Swung on and grounded hard in between first and second, and that one finds its way into right. So Houston Wright back in the hit column after an 0 for 4 day yesterday.
Number 8, Alan Alonso.
Alan Alonso digging in now with Josiah Seitler waiting on deck. 1 for 2 today with that home run. Alonso pops up the first pitch from Keane in this at-bat. Fouls it off. Alonso in tonight's contest, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. So looking to get back in the hit column after a 1 for 4 day yesterday. The 0-1. Way inside. Forces Alonso to a knee and to bend his back out of the way as the count evens up in 1-1. One ball, 1 strike with 1 out and Houston Wright on first. 1-1 taken inside for ball 2. Keane didn't see any time in 2020 as a pitcher for VMI, though started at catcher back on February 14th against North Florida. Batted 4 times and recorded 1 hit and 1 RBI. Struck out 10 batters in 7 innings in 2019. Did not play in 2018 after transferring from William & Mary. The 2-1 from Keane. Swung on and grounded hard in between third and short. So Alonso follows up. Houston Wright single into right with a single into left. That brings up Josiah Seitler, who went deep in his last debut over the right field wall. If he can just find a way to bring Houston Wright home, that would tie up tonight's contest. Alan Alonso stretching out the left leg over at first base. Looks like he's all right, though, as he stands back up, moves onto the base paths. First pitch to Josiah Seitler is a pitch out. Taken for ball 1, no runners moving. Runners on second and first, following a pair of singles from Houston Wright now and Alonso with 1 out in the inning, coming from Jared Kaufman, the leadoff man. The 1-0 to Seitler, low and in, ball 2. Shane Easter waits on deck. Easter 0 for 2 today. 2-0 to Seitler. Another pitch out. Nothing doing. The count to Seitler, the designated hitter, with Shane Easter waiting on deck with 1 out and runners on second and first. 2-1 the score, Pilots lead. 3-0 taken above the zone for ball 4, and that loads the bases with just 1 away. Double play ball in order now for the Pilots infield. Shane Easter looking to pick up his first hit today after the 3-for-4 day yesterday. Pitching coach Ryan Lenneberg coming out to talk things over with Matt Keene. The Steamers and Pilots now tied in hits with 5. John Swanson making his way out to the mound to hurry matters along. So Shane Easter, who comes in with 2 home runs following his solo shot in the bottom of the 9th yesterday, and a .340 average coming into today's game with 4 doubles and 12 RBIs. Comes in with the bases loaded and 1 out. A pop fly to pretty much anywhere in the outfield should bring 1 home as long as it's deeper than shallow parts of the outfield. Easter having to back out of the way of the first pitch, a breaking ball that doesn't break quite enough inside for ball 1. Second pitch swinging is Easter. Skies it out to right field, but it's about a foot to the right of the foul line. So a dead ball. Easter evens up the count at 1-1. If that had fallen in fair territory, we could have seen the Steamers take the lead here in the top of the 6th. But instead, the count moves to 1-1. Score is still 2-1 in favor of the Pilots with 1 out and the bases loaded for the Clams in the top of the 6th. The 1-1 now from Keene. Breaking pitch that does break just enough as it catches the inside part of the zone for strike 2. Easter's average coming in today, in fact, 386, not 340, as he fouls off the 1-2. And 11 RBIs to his credit, with 3 doubles. There's Josiah Seitler, who came into today's contest with an average of 340, with 12 RBIs and 4 doubles. The 1-2. Inside. Easter having to shuffle his feet out of the way as the count evens back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 to Easter. Just off the outside part of the zone as the count fills up to 3-2 with the tying run waiting on third and the bases loaded. A walk ties this game up at 2 runs aside. The 3-2. Foul tipped. And Snedeker can't hold on to it behind the plate. So the count remains full with 1 out and the bases loaded. Big moment in this ball game as The Pilots have struggled to string any significant offense together since the bottom of the first inning. The Steamers posted one in the top of the fifth. Easter calls time at the plate. Keane looking to avoid the walk. It would be just the second walk given up to the Steamers today. Case Kermode drawing the first earlier tonight. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Big punch out there from Matt Keane. Draws a roar from the crowd. And now Casey Hare digging in. Hare 0 for 2 today with a pair of strikeouts. One looking, one swinging. Looking to extend that 4-game hit streak to an odd 5. Matt Keane looking to put an end to this inning without giving up a run. 2-1 still the score. First pitch to Hare, foul tipped. Snedeker holds on to it, 0-1 the count. That pitch clocking in at 93 miles per hour on the gun. His Hare was a bit late to the party on that swing. The 0-1. Swung on and missed over the top as Hare falls behind 0-2. The 0-2. Hare fouls it off. Stays alive. Base is still loaded with 2 outs. Steamers trail by 1 here in the top of the 6th. We started this inning at 8:07. Now 8:22. Well, easily the longest half inning thus far. The 0-2. Breaking pitch called, strike 3, and that hypes up Matt Keane and the Peninsula Pilots dugout. They hold on to their slim 1-run lead as we headed now to the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1 the score. 2 hits in the inning for the Edenton Steamers. 3 runners left on as the Clams leave the bases loaded. No errors on part of the Peninsula Pilots. Jake Rice heading back to the mound for his 6th inning of action. When we come back, Trey Morgan set to lead off. Two-one still our score here at War Memorial Stadium. I'm Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Trey Morgan leading off, 2, 3, and 4 due up. Eric Stock on deck. First pitch swinging is Morgan, and he grounds one right past Jared Kaufman and Shane Easter at first and second into right. For a leadoff single, Eric Stock digging in. Eric Stock 1 for 2. Came around to score as a runner as well. Trey Morgan now 2 for 3 tonight. Stock listed as a right-handed pitcher on this Pilots roster. Starting at second tonight. At UConn in 2020 as he fouls off the first pitch to fall behind 0-1. He pitched for 2 innings, striking out 2. He transferred from Old Dominion, where he played as a freshman in 2018 and was a Conference USA All-Freshman team selection. The throw over from Rice back to Easter at first, keeping Morgan in check, not in time. Stock played at Greenbrier Christian Academy in Virginia Beach and was a first-team All-State selection as a senior and the 2017 TCIS Player of the Year. Fouls off the 0-1, so he falls behind 0-2. One on, no out. Eric Stock waits the 0-2, but Rice steps off. 6 hits to 5 now the advantage for Peninsula after the Trey Morgan leadoff single. Trey Morgan on the move down to second. The throw from Kermode a bit off the bag is Kaufman with a backhanded pickoff attempt. Can't corral the throw down as Morgan moves into second base safely to eliminate the double play possibility. One-two swung on and missed, strike 3. Stock goes down with his first strikeout tonight, now 1 for 3. Hunter Hart digging in. Hart picked up his first hit as a Peninsula Pilot in this contest. First pitch to Hunter Hart, and this is third plate appearance. Take him for ball 1 outside. Popped up into the shallow right field grass. Jared Kaufman backing up to put it away for the second out. So Hunter Hart retired on just 2 pitches. So 2 outs now with Trey Morgan standing on second following the leadoff single. Jake Boone digging in. Boone 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. Boone was selected in the 38th round of the 2017 MLB draft by the Washington Nationals as he fouls off the first pitch from Jake Rice. As a senior, Jake Boone hit an average of .353 with an on-base percentage of .427. The 0-1 from Rice. Swung on, grounded to third. Copeland fields it easily, makes the throw over to retire the side. So 1 hit in the inning for the Peninsula Pilots, but they leave 1 stranded on second base. No runs come across the score in the inning. No errors for the Edenton Steamers defense. 2-1 still the score as we head to the 7th frame. When we come back, we pick it up with Case Kermode, the catcher. 8, 9, and the top of the order due up for the Steamers when we come back. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Jake Dragum on the mound for the Peninsula Pilots, who still hold a 2-1 lead to begin the 7th inning. Case Kermode digging in as the first pit batter that Dragum will face out of the pen. Dragum, a sophomore at UNC Charlotte, comes in with an ERA of 0 after 2 2/3 innings pitched and 2 appearances and 1 start. Kermode takes the first pitch of the inning for ball 1. Dragum started 4 of 19 games for Lewisburg Community College in 2020. As he's on his way to UNC Charlotte, he hit .431 with 28 hits and 65 at-bats, 6 doubles, 6 homers, and 20 RBIs. He only pitched on occasion, finishing with a 2-1 record as Kermode swings and misses at the 1-1. He'll fall behind now 1-2. In 4 appearances, Dragum collected 16 innings of work as Kermode takes the 1-2 outside. A 52-mile-per-hour breaking pitch. That didn't look 52 to the naked eye, but that's what it's showing up as on the scoreboard. The 2-2. Just off the middle outside part of the zone as the count fills up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 3-2. Swung on, grounded down the third base line. Dragum transferred to Lewisburg Community College after beginning his collegiate career at the University of Virginia in the ACC. Lewisburg coach Blake Herron called Dragum a spark plug. If he was on, we were going to be on. As a team, he said, Jack had an enormous amount of stress on him being seen as the big-time ACC transfer. But came in and earned respect, and he earns respect with strikeouts like that. After getting ahead in the count, falls behind 3-2, but comes back with a big strike 3 to Case Kermode for the first out of the inning here in the top of the 7th. Copeland standing in now. Copeland 1 for 2 today with a single. Takes the first pitch from Dragum for ball 1. Dragum played at Hanover High School and won a state championship back in 2016. Copeland rips the 1-0 on the ground to the shortstop. Jake Boone makes a backhanded stop and a nice throw over to first to record the second out. Reminder, Steamers are looking to push their TSL leading win streak to 7 games. Or to 8 games. It currently sits at 7 games. If they lose tonight, they'll maintain their TSL winning streak, but their overall winning streak will come to an end. Both at 7 games. As Brody Rubenstein, the leadoff hitter, digs in. Once again, taking the first pitch all the way for ball 1. Rubenstein 0 for 3 today with 1 strikeout. A 1-0. Drops too low outside the zone. Count moves to 2-0. Some beautiful skies over War Memorial Stadium here. The 2-0 on the way to Rubenstein. Catches the high outside part of the zone for the first strike of the AB. 2-1 now the count with 2 away. Steamers trail in the hit category 6-5. The 2-1. Low. Count moves to 3-1. The leadoff man in the order, Brody Rubenstein, third batter here in the inning. Dragum with the 3-1. Grounded. And it's a high bouncer to the second baseman, Eric Stock. The throw over to first, not in time, as Brody Rubenstein with the quick feet down the first base line, able to reach first safely. That's a perfect example of hustling paying off. You'd want to save a clip like that and show that to pretty much every Little League player coming up today. Just because you look like you might be grounding out doesn't mean that that's necessarily going to be the result. Hustle down the line and you might find yourself with an infield single, as Brody Rubenstein does there. Jared Kaufman digging in now, dragging with a throw over to first to keep Rubenstein in check, but it's too late. Kaufman 1 for 3 today. Picked up the first hit of the night for the Steamers. Takes the first pitch of the at-bat above the zone for ball 1. A fastball coming in at 86 on the gun. The 1-0 in the dirt. Rubenstein on the move from first. The throw from Snedeker behind the plate pulls the second baseman Stock off the bag. So Rubenstein in at second base safely. Pitch outside the zone, so the count 2-0 to Jared Kaufman. A single could tie up the contest with the speedy center fielder Rubenstein taking a healthy lead off of second. Three balls and no strikes now as that pitch runs a bit too high and inside. Houston Wright waiting on deck. Wright 1 for 3 today with a single to right field. Dragum steps off the mound. Looking to check Rubenstein back to second, but he won't even jog back over. Rubenstein playing a bit of cat and mouse with Dragum. A 3-0 taken for the first strike of the at-bat. (3-1) the count now to Kaufman. 2 outs in the inning. A single possibly ties this contest up. The 3-1, Rubenstein on the move in a hit-and-run situation. Grounded back to Dragum at the mound. The throw over to first in time to retire the side. 1 hit for the Steamers in the inning. 1 runner left on. No run comes across to score. No errors on part of the Peninsula Pilots in the inning. 2-1 still our score as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. When we come back, Luke Zimmerman will lead off. 2-1 still the score. I'm Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Kyle Reynolds taking the mound as the first pitcher out of the bullpen for the Steamers tonight. Jake Rice's day comes to an end after 6 full innings of work in which he allowed 2 runs to score back in the bottom of the first inning on 6 hits total with 6 strikeouts, 3 of them looking. With 1 walk given up as well, Kyle Reynolds First batter he'll face is the designated hitter Luke Zimmerman, who also came in for a couple innings of relief work on the mound. Well, 3 hits on 1 earned run, gave up the home run to Josiah Sightler, the lone run of the game for the Steamers, as 2-1 is still the score in favor of the Pilots. 1-1 the count to Zimmerman at the plate. Reynolds coming in with 10 innings under his belt thus far through 2020, as the 1-1 runs too far outside for ball 2. 5 earned runs have come across on Reynolds' watch, 7 total on 13 hits, 10 strikeouts, and 1 hit by pitch, the 2-1. Called strike 2, nice pitch from Reynolds that froze up Zimmerman in the left-handed hitter's box. The 2-2. Breaking pitch that doesn't break quite hard enough. Fills up the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just yesterday, I was hanging out with Kyle out in the home bullpen back at historic Hicksfield as he was doing some medicine ball throws, as Zimmerman rips a foul ball down the first base line. If that had been 6 inches to the left, Zimmerman would have led off with an infield or with a single. Three-two still the count to Zimmerman as he's replacing his bat. Zimmerman still facing a full count. Kyle Reynolds looking to collect the first out of the inning. The 3-2 on the way. That one swung on and popped way up in the air. Major league fly ball out to right. Alan Alonso completely loses it. Zimmerman rounding second. He'll be held up at third. Ball gets past the shortstop. Zimmerman and Copeland having some words over there at third base. Pointing fingers. Copeland arguing that Zimmerman ran into him. I believe Zimmerman arguing that Copeland was standing in way of the base path. Tarico Henderson having to break the 2 up. The bullpen of the Edenton Steamers starting to make their way out. Assistant coaches James Stalin Jr. and Connor Daly ordering all the men back to the bullpen. So some chippiness here between the Pilots and the Steamers, renewing that bad blood from the CPL days of the Edenton Steamers. So Ryan Zimmerman likely will be credited with a triple, as Alan Alonso had no idea where that pop fly was going. Stood still in routine right field as that ball dropped at the warning track in front of the Peninsula Pilots bullpen. No outs in the inning and a runner standing on third for the Pilots now. Cole Seacrest, the right fielder, digging in and takes the first pitch from Reynolds for strike 1. The 0-1 swung at and missed. So Seacrest falls behind now. No balls and 2 strikes. A grounder to third. Copeland with Zimmerman now caught in a rundown. The throw to Kermode at the plate. And he throws it over into left field. That one gets past Houston right. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Seacrest rounding third. He'll come home. 2 runs are going to score on the play. And the lead expands now to 4-1. Copeland looking to make the out, trying to save the 1 run from scoring. And Case Kermode with the throwing error into left field. Out of reach for even Houston Wright, who did come in to back up on the play. So the bases are empty with no outs for the Pilots. Connor Daly coming out, I'm sure, just to calm the nerves of Kyle Reynolds out on the mound. Kyle Reynolds, honestly, throwing a solid game thus far. Only in not even a third of an inning yet of work. It's a 4-1 lead now for the Pilots. And you got to wonder if the chatter between Zimmerman and Copeland gave Copeland a bit of an edge there and a personal vendetta trying to get Zimmerman out on the play. It really does not matter. As Zimmerman made the jump from third, Copeland had him caught in the rundown. Wasn't necessarily the wrong play to go home with it. But instead of letting the 1 run score and coming up with the first out, both runs score on a throwing error from Case Kermode in the rundown. Cy Snedeker digging back in. Swings and misses at the first pitch to fall behind 0-1. Snedeker 0 for 2 today with 1 strikeout looking. The 0-1 from Reynolds. Another swing over the top from Snedeker, so he falls behind 0-2. 4-1 the score. I guess they're not going to score either the Zimmerman hit or the Seacrest hit is hits. Obviously not the Seacrest hit as Snedeker goes down looking for the first out of the inning. Seacrest obviously reaching on what would have been a fielder's choice but wound up being a throwing error. Zimmerman, though, reached third after his pop fly to right dropped in no man's land as Alan Alonso lost it in the lights. Ben McCabe digging in back at the 9 hole. Takes the first pitch for a called strike 1. The 0-1. Fouled off right off of home plate. So the count to 0-2. A swing and a ball in the dirt. McCabe trying to take first on the drop third strike, but Kermode fielding the drop third and making the throw down in time. Now Nick Biddison digging back in once again. Biddison with just 2 official at-bats in tonight's contest. And he's 0 for 2 with a walk. Biddison takes the first pitch for ball 1 above the zone. Second pitch to Biddison, taken high and maybe a bit outside as well. As the count moves to 2-0. Biddison taking the 3-0 all the way for ball 4. So 1 runner on now with 2 outs and 2 runs already come across here in the top of the 8th, or bottom of the 7th, I should say, for Peninsula. Trey Morgan digging back in. Morgan 2 for 3 tonight with a pair of singles. Lays down a bunt. Copeland charging on the infield grass, but he won't make the play in time. Morgan reaches first base safely. Biddison moves up to second. That brings up Eric Stock. Stock 1 for 3 today, also scored as a runner back in that bottom of the first. That saw 2 runs come across for Peninsula. 4-1 is the score now after 2 runs have come across here in the inning on a throwing error. They did give... No, they did not. In fact, they scored the hit. The bunt is the 8th hit. Both runners on the move on the 0-1, but it's fouled off by Stock at the plate, so both runners will retreat now with Stock. Looking at an 0-2 pitch coming up with 2 away, and both runners standing on second and first. The 0-2. Breaking ball. Pilots coming out of the dugout, calling for a balk against Reynolds. One, two the count following the 0-2 ball. Both runners on the move. Pitch in the dirt. Kermode able to keep it in front of him. It was a drop third strike. Kermode doesn't make a throw. Easter not covering the bag at first. So Stock, after striking out, will reach first base safely. Head coach Marshall McDonald coming out to relieve Kyle Reynolds of his duties. So the base is loaded now for Peninsula here in the inning. Head coach Marshall McDonald not happy with Kyle Reynolds. And coming out of the bullpen now, Ray Stokeham, who is riding a bit of a hot hand in tonight's contest. Stokeham in his last 4 outings have struck out 10 batters. Or make it his last 3 outings, he struck out 10 batters. His most recent coming in the second game of the doubleheader against Old Dominion back at Historic Hicks Field back on the 9th. He picked up the save in just 1 inning of work, allowed no runs on 1 hit with 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. He's collected 5 1/3 total innings of work, in which he's allowed 3 earned runs to cross, on 2 hits with 7 walks, 15 strikeouts, and 3 hits by hit batters. He started the season a bit shaky on the mound, but really turned it around against Old Dominion back on the 5th, where he appeared for just 1 inning and struck out 3 batters. In his next appearance against Greenbrier, also just another inning on the mound, but he struck out 3 batters in that appearance as well, with no hits, no walks given up in either of those starts. Or in those appearances. Neither of them were starts. Both of them were relief appearances. But he comes in with an interesting situation facing his Edenton Steamers. 2 runs have already come across here in the bottom of the 7th. The score now 4-1. And the base is loaded following a reach on a drop third strike from Eric Stock. Hunter Hart, the third baseman, waiting on deck. A hit expands the lead to 4 or more. And out ends the inning. What's been easily the longest inning of tonight's contest here in the 7th. Stokeham with the first pitch strikeout of the bullpen to Hunter Hart. Hart 1 for 3. And he gets hit on the second pitch of the AB as the run comes in to score to make it now a 4-run lead for Peninsula. 5-1 the score. And Jake Boone digging in. Boone 0 for 3 with a strikeout tonight. First pitch to Boone in the AB is popped up over the infield. Casey Hare with a read on it, calling off the third baseman Aaron Copeland. He puts it away for the third and final out, but 3 runs do come across in the inning for the Pilots, thanks to an error and a hit by pitch with the bases loaded. 5-1 is the score as we head into the top of the 8th inning. Steamers with their work cut out for them, trailing by 4, and some chippiness really starting to get going between these two ball clubs. Interested to see how the rest of these final 2 innings play out. When we come back, the Steamers pick things up. In the heart of the order, my name is Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Alex Hinton out of the bullpen now for the Peninsula Pilots. Hinton making his 6th appearance in 2020, an ERA thus far of 1.29 through 7 innings pitched. He's allowed 4 hits, just 1 run, an earned run to come across under his watch. He's walked 2 batters and struck out 6. Houston Wright will be the first man he faces in the inning, with the heart of the order to follow. Alan Alonso waiting on deck. Wright tonight 1 for 3 with a single. First pitch to him in this at-bat taken on the high outside corner for strike 1. Second pitch to Wright, taken for ball 1, so the count evens up at 1-1. Steamers with an uphill battle in front of them. They trail 5-1 after the 3-run bottom of the 7th from the Peninsula Pilots. And the Steamers really handing them 2 of those runs, if not 3 of them. 2 of them came across on an error in a rundown, with Ryan Zimmerman stuck between third and home. Case Kermode threw a ball intended to third down the left field line. It looked like it was going to be a fielder's choice. The 1-2 now to Houston Wright. Swung on and missed as he goes down swinging. Right now the 13th strikeout for the Steamers lineup tonight. One of very few times this season that the Steamers have been struck out in the double digits. Alan Alonso digging in now, making his 4th appearance. Alonso 1 for 3. Takes the first pitch up and in at 89 miles per hour for ball 1. The 1-0 swung over the top. Alonso putting every bit of power he had in that swing as he drops to a knee. Swinging over the top of it, the count evens up at 1-1. Hinton struck out 9 batters at Wilmington in 9 and the third inning pitch this spring. Finished with an ERA of 3.86, looking to record the second out, the 1-1 to Alonso, a breaking pitch that doesn't quite find the zone. Count moves to 2-1 with 1 away. Hinton's older brother Kyle was drafted by the Kansas City Royals in the 16th round of the 2018 MLB draft. Alonso with the pop up to routine center. Biddison making his way to it and collecting it with just one hand on the fly for the second out of the inning. And that brings up Josiah Seitler. Seitler 1 for 2 today in 3 plate appearances. He's got the lone RBI for the Steamers, a solo home run that came back in the top of the 5th inning. Steamers desperately need to put some runs on the board here in the top of the 8th inning. First pitch to Seitler, swung on and missed, strike 1. Seitler also walked once in tonight's contest. (5-1) still the score. The 0-1 to Seitler. Taken low and in at the shins for ball 1. Peninsula, if they come away with the win, move to 4-0 against Tidewater Summer League teams in 2020. They move to 6-5 on the season. If the Steamers come away the losers in tonight's contest, their record will be unaffected, but their win streak will come to an end as they're trying to push it to an even 8 games. Seitler now behind 1-2 following the foul ball on the 1-1. 2 outs in the inning. Seitler looking to keep it alive here in the top of the 8th, with the Steamers already trailing by 4, 5-1. The 1-2. A breaking pitch just off the outside part of the plate to even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch on the way from Hinton. That one swung on and popped up into foul territory past third, but that one will smack down on the concrete in front of the concession stands down in left field. A cool seating area or viewing area in that balcony above the concession stands. There's a whole line of people from one end to the other watching tonight's contest from above. Overall, War Memorial, a very nice stadium here in Hampton, Virginia. And a turf field at that. The 2-2 on the way with 2 outs. Grounded down the first base line, but foul. So Seitler stays alive. Seitler to do the 2-2 dance once more. With 2 outs. Nobody on. Alex Hinton looking to put him away. The 2-2. Seitler tried waiting on the off-speed pitch, or a breaking pitch for that matter. But he's still out in front of it as he rips it towards the Pilots dugout down the first base line from the left-handed hitter's box. The 2-2 upcoming once again with 2 outs and nobody on for the Steamers. They still trail by 4. The pitch. That one swung on and hit to center. Biddison giving that one a bit of a chase, not too much, as he gets under it for the 3rd and final out of the top of the 8th inning. No hits, no runs, no runners left on for the Steamers. They still trail 5-1 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. When we come back, Luke Zimmerman will lead off as he did in the Bottom of the 7th, Ray Stokeham back on the mound for another inning of work. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. Ray Stokeham back on the mound.
Number 17.
Stokeham threw for just 1/3 of an inning after Kyle Reynolds recorded the first 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Luke Zimmerman digging in once again. Zimmerman 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Came in to score as the first runner of the 3-run bottom of the 7th on the throwing error from Case Kermode in the rundown. Takes the first pitch for ball 1, but reaches out of the zone for the second pitch. Another fastball coming in at 88 on the gun from Ray Stokeham to even up the count at 1-1. The 1-1. 89 that time on the gun, and Zimmerman way behind it. Middle away from Stokeham. Count moves to 1-2 strikes. The 1-2. Stokeham tried getting Zimmerman to chase even further out of the zone, but it doesn't work. Zimmerman watches that one all the way in. Count even up at 2-2 strikes with no outs. Zimmerman, the leadoff man in the inning for the Pilots, who still hold a 4-run lead 5-1 here in the bottom of the 8th. 2-2 taken for ball 3. Full count pitch on the way. Swung on and lined over Copeland's head at third. That one rolling down the left field line. Zimmerman turning the corner at first. He'll pull into second base with a double. To make it the first hit of the inning. Peninsula up to 9 on the night. Cole Seacrest now digging in. Seacrest came around to score on the error from Case Kermode behind the plate as well. As once it got past Houston right, it was slow rolling all the way out to the bullpen down in left field. Seacrest not even having to sprint all the way around the base paths to make it home in time. First pitch in this at-bat from Ray Stokeham taken inside for ball 1. With no outs and Ryan Zimmerman standing on second following the inning opening double. The 1-0 now. Taken inside for ball 2. The 2-0 now from Stokeham. Back Seacrest way off the plate as the count runs deep in the hole against Stokeham. 3 balls and no strikes with 1 runner on. Cy Snedeker waiting on deck. He's 0 for 3 today with 2 punch-outs. The 3-0 taken all the way for a called strike 1. That one looked like it caught the inside stripe of the right-handed hitter's box, but the count moves to 3-1. Pitch on the way. Right down the heart of the zone to fill up the count at 3-2 with Seacrest taking all the way. Full count pitch. Zimmerman with a lead off a second. Taken for ball 4. So no outs in the inning, but the double play ball now in order with runners on second and first.
Number 3,
Cy Snedeker digging in. Snedeker 0 for 3 with 2 punch outs, both of them looking. First pitch called strike 1, middle away. The 0-1. Taken low and outside for ball 1, so the count evens up at 1-1. One and one swung on and missed by Snedeker. So the catcher falls behind in the count 1-2 with still no outs in the inning. Runners on first and second. And minimal action in 2019 with Princeton as he takes the 1-2 for ball 2. Snedeker had 1 hit in 17 at-bats in 12 games played in 4 starts. 2-2 taken outside for ball 3, so the count runs full against Ray Stokeham once again. With 2 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th frame. (3-2). That one swung on and lined into right field. The runner being waved around third. Alonso can't handle it. The throw into third base as Zimmerman comes in to score, not in time. Copeland with a throw over to second as Hare applies the tag to Snedeker in time to record 1 out on the play. But 1 run comes in to score. 5-run lead now for the Peninsula Pilots. Seacrest standing on third. Ben McCabe digging in once again. McCabe at UCF in 2020 collected an average of .304 with 14 hits and 46 at-bats with 3 doubles, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs, a slugging percentage of .500 on the nose. First pitch to McCabe, taken for ball 1 inside. 1 out. Runner on third in Cole Seacrest. The 1-0. In the same exact spot as the first pitch, 92 on the gun from Stokeham. Count moves to 2-0. The 2-0. Inside. Ball gets past Kermode, but no movement from Seacrest down at third. Count moves to 3 balls and no strikes against McCabe. So the Steamers in the top of the 9th will have to score at least 5 runs as of right now. Connor Daly coming out to talk things over with Ray Stokeham on the mound. Shout out to our PA announcer back at Historic Hicksfield, Tommy Bass, along with our scorekeeper, John Barrow. My apologies. I miss them both dearly tonight as I'm alone in a room by myself here at Moore Memorial. Always miss having fun with both of those guys throughout a contest. 3-0 the count to McCabe, the pitch on the way, and it hits him. Not sure what Connor Daly said to Ray Stokeham before that pitch, but I'm sure not what Daly wanted as a result. A right-hander working out in the bullpen now for the Steamers. A right-hander up in the pen for Peninsula as well. with just one out. Double play ball back in order with runners on the corners. Nick Biddison digging in. Biddison 0 for 2 tonight. In 4 plate appearances, he's walked twice. First pitch taken for strike 1. Second pitch on the way. In there for a called strike 2. Stokeham with a pair of nice pitches right down the zone after giving up a hit by pitch to Ben McCabe. The 0-2 now on the way. Grounded to Hare at short. Taylor made for 2. Over to second for 1. The throw over from Kaufman is not in time as Biddison showing off the speed there down the first base line. And another run comes in to score in Cole Seacrest from third. Trey Morgan digging in now. 6-run lead for the Peninsula Pilots. 7-1 is the score. They've brought 2 across here in the bottom of the 8th. They brought 3 across in the 7th. And those 3 in the 7th, their first runs since all the way back in the bottom of the 1st, in which they posted 2. 2 outs in the inning, runner on first. 2 runs come in to score here in the inning. On 2 hits. First pitch to Morgan, ball 1. The second pitch outside for ball 2. Morgan working on a very solid day, 3 for 4 at the plate with 1 strikeout. Across the plate as a runner as well. Back in the bottom of the 1st. The 2-0 in there for strike 1. So 2 on the count, 1 man on, 2 out in the inning. 7-1 the score here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 hours gone here at War Memorial. Three-1 the count now following the 2-1 ball outside. Pitch on the way from Stokeham. Runner on the move down from first, but it's taken for ball 4. Marshall McDonald making his way out to the mound, as that will likely do it for Ray Stokeham's night here at War Memorial Stadium. And it will. Stokeham gets a nice pat on the back. And a new pitcher coming in now for the Steamers. That'll be number 9, Daniel Willie, out of Ottawa, Tennessee. Willie made his last appearance against Tidewater back on the 10th at historic Hicks Field. Worked for 2 innings, allowed 3 earned runs on 1 hit that brought the 3 runs across. 3 hits did come off of Willie, but 1 hit brought all 3 runs across. It was a 3-run home run from Mason Dunaway. Willie also allowed 3 walks and struck out 3 batters in the 2 innings of work. In 6 games played, Willie's total 10 1/3 innings of work. 11 runs have scored on his behalf, 5 of them earned on 11 hits, 11 walks, and 13 strikeouts, with just 1 hit batter. It was just a 2-1 game heading into the bottom of the 7th. The Pilots expanded their lead to 4 with 3 runs in that bottom of the 7th frame. 2 of them coming off of an error from Case Kermode and 1 coming off of a bases loaded hit by pitch from Ray Stokeham, who just came out of the game. 2 runs have come across here in the bottom of the 8th inning on 2 hits. And 1 fielder's choice. Peninsula also without an error thus far. when the Steamers come back to the plate in the top of the 9th inning, Shane Easter will be the leadoff man. As 6, 7, and 8 due up. Casey Hare on deck and Case Kermode, the third man, set to come to the plate in the inning. But for now, Eric Stock digs back in the 3-hole. Stock 1 for 4 today with a single. He's also scored as a runner. First pitch to him from Willie, taken for ball 1. Willie checking on the runner at second, delivers the 1-0, taken low for ball 2. The 2-0 now in the dirt. Three straight balls from Willie out of the pen. As Stock ahead in the count now. 3 balls and no strikes with 2 outs and runners on first and second. The 3-0 from Willie. Taken all the way from Stock. 3-0 means no, but called strike 1 right down the heart of the plate. The 3-1. Taken low and a bit outside as well. For the 4th ball, Stock works a walk. Make it his first walk tonight. Hunter Hart back up to the plate. Hart 1 for 3 today with an RBI. First pitch to Hart, grounded, back up the middle. The run comes in to score from third, the run from second being waved around. The throw from Rubenstein comes into Copeland at third. He can't handle it. As 2 more runs cross on the 11th hit of the night for the Peninsula Pilots. 9-1 is the score. On the 2-run single from Hunter Hart, who was just picked up by this Pilots club yesterday. Jake Boone digging in once again. With still 2 outs, but runners on the corners now. And 4 runs already come across here in the bottom of the 8th inning on 2 hits. Make it 3 hits for that matter. First pitch strike from Willie. Second one, skied up in the air over the infield. Shane Easter, the first baseman, calling off Daniel Willie on the infield grass, and he catches the pop-up for the 3rd and final out of the inning. 3 hits for the Peninsula Pilots in the inning, bring 4 runs across here in the bottom of the 8th inning. They do leave 2 runners stranded, though. No errors on part of Edenton in this inning. We go to the top of the 9th inning with the Steamers looking up the base of a mountain. 9-1 is the score. Shane Easter, the leadoff man, due up. But Adam Fine with the bat in his hands for the Edenton Steamers outside the dugout. Pitching change as well for Peninsula. We'll go through it all when we come back. 9-1 the score. My name's Patrick Foster. You're listening to Edenton Steamers Baseball, only on the Edenton Steamers YouTube network. All set for the top of the 9th inning here at War Memorial Stadium. 9-1 is our score after the 4-run bottom of the 8th from the Peninsula Pilots. Marcus Oliveras, new man on the mound for the Pilots out of Lamar University. In 4 appearances, Oliveras has given up 9 earned runs on 9 hits with 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. Shane Easter, the leadoff man in the inning. Adam Fine waits on deck, as it appears he'll get a pinch hit opportunity instead of Casey Hare. First pitch to Easter, swinging strike 1. With Hare's night come to an end, his 4-game hitting streak will as well. He ends tonight 0 for 3. Second pitch to Easter, swinging strike 2. 0-2 the count to the man at the plate, Easter, as he and his Steamers currently face an 8-run deficit. 0-2 on the way. Just above the zone. Hardly a waste pitch there, as the count moves to 1-2. That one coming in at 96 on the gun, if I read that correctly. I did see it a bit late on the scoreboard. The 1-2 from Olivares. Swung on and missed. That one coming in at 97 miles per hour. My word. Adam Fine digging in now. Fine coming in after getting yesterday off. Made his last appearance against Greenbrier back on the 11th. Made just 1 plate appearance and walked. And came around to score as a runner. An average of .222 at the plate, with 6 singles. Still yet to come up with that first extra base hit. 96 mile per hour fastball from Olivares. This easily the fastest pitching the Steamers have faced this summer. The 0-1. Another 96 mile per hour pitch taken for a called strike 2. And I'm just reading what's being put up on the scoreboard out in left field. No balls, 2 strikes, the pitch to Fine. Broken bat as he pops it foul over the playground behind the Peninsula dugout. Fine will need another axe to swing, as that one sawed him off. Fine behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes with 1 out already recorded in the inning. Jackson Hipp on deck for Case Kermode. Kermode also ends today hitless 0 for 2. Still an 8-run deficit, 9-1. Pilots lead here in the top of the 9th inning. Looking to close things out. Olivares, the 0-2 to Fine. He fouls it off, a 92 mile per hour pitch from Olivares. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out the pitch. In the turf. One bounce right into Snedeker's glove behind the plate. Fine without a move down the first base line, and the Steamers are down to their final out in their second exhibition tonight. Jackson Hipp looking to stretch the night out for the Steamers. 9-1 is the score. Steamers looking to keep their winning streak alive and push to 8 games. First pitch swinging is Hipp, and he fouls it off. Swings over the 0-1. So he's down in the count 0-2 with 2 outs. No runners on for the Steamers here in the top of the 9th. The pitch on its way from Olivares. Swinging strike 3, and that'll do it. 9-1 is the final here at War Memorial Stadium. Peninsula picks up their 4th win against Tidewater Summer League teams. The Steamers' 7-game win streak comes to an end. Their TSL win streak still alive, though, at 7 games. And their 12-4 record unaffected after tonight's contest. Marshall McDonald shaking hands now, along with James Stalin with the coaching staff, spearheaded by Hank Morgan, the head coach for Peninsula. A rivalry renewed here in Hampton, Virginia. But the Pilots come up with their 6th consecutive victory over the last 2 years over the Edenton Steamers. 9-1 is the final. That's going to do it for tonight's edition of Steamers Baseball. The Pilots come away victorious over the Steamers by a final score of 9-1. The 7-game win streak comes to a close for the Edenton Steamers, but their TSL win streak still alive at 7 games. The Steamers move to 0-2 on the season in exhibition contests, while Peninsula's record against TSL teams now moves to 4-0. Your Steamers will be back in action tomorrow night as they get right back into TSL play with their 17th league game of the season against the Greenbrier Knights at historic Hicks Field for the 7th meeting this season and 6th meeting in Edenton. Edenton currently holds a 6-1 record in the season series over the Knights after winning the last matchup back on the 11th, 10-0. First pitch between Edenton and Greenbrier tomorrow is set for 7 p.m. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay beautiful, Steamers Nation.